What up, everyone? We in here, Podcast FC show, fantasy soccer talk for the Premier League, Matchday 12. I'm here. I'm Tiki. I'm here with our fantasy expert, Huss.
Hey guys, what's up?
And we're gonna talk about this week's Matchday 12 action for the Premier League, as I said. Before we get into that, Huss, it's been a long time. Let me say, man, the international break absolutely hurts my feelings every time it comes around. Although there were some action-packed games, we'll probably get into that on our Sunday show. But yeah, man, how have you been feeling these last couple of weeks?
I mean, I think it's unanimous that no one likes international break. This international break was a little different because there were some action-packed games, and we've seen pretty much not history being made, but absolute upsets with Italy not making the World Cup. I mean, there's a lot of big teams not making the World Cup. You just made me think of something real quick. The U.S. might be actually starting another tournament for all the teams that didn't make the World Cup, like Chile, Ghana. It's like such a sore loser. It's basically the analogy is, for anyone that doesn't know, March Madness, which is NCAA basketball, college basketball in the United States. For anyone that doesn't make the tournament, there's an NIT tournament. For anyone that doesn't make that tournament, we got you like a second place tournament.
Right, it's a losers bracket.
Exactly. So even like the first loser of the World Cup is still better than the champion of this tournament. But
Exactly.
at the same time, though, it's gonna make tons of money. It's gonna be with team. Look, I'm gonna watch. I'm not gonna tell you that if United States is taking on Chile in a finals, I'm obviously gonna watch. Same thing if even if Italy take on Chile, I mean that's still gonna be a fun game to watch. Ivory Coast might be in.
The
So
question is, when will this run? Obviously, we're taking a super left turn on this, but I was just wondering when I heard this, like when is it going to run concurrent with the World Cup, after the World Cup, but then that creeps into preseason club time. Like, it's weird. I heard it too, and I was a little taken aback by it. But I think that's the U.S. sort of like, being sour cakes about what happened lately.
Yeah, you know what? It's being a sourpuss about it, but at the same time, when life hands you lemons, you make lemonade. So you know what? They might make just as much money. Well, not just as much, but they'll make a lot of that money back from missing the World Cup if they start this tournament. Because I can tell you right now, if they do get in that finals with one of those teams, those numbers are going to go through the roof. And ESPN, even though Fox has the World Cup, ESPN or ABC, well, actually, they're the same company. Yeah,
NBC.
Yeah, NBC. Someone's going to buy those rights, and they're going to make tons of money. We can talk about it more on Sunday. I'll do more research and everything, and then we'll get the whole crew involved. But that's a left turn. But sorry, I just got too far into it. But the big thing with international break, I mean, the thing I've told you before, where people in good form go to get hurt, and people that are in bad form go to get in good form. And we saw that. Eriksen, he hasn't been in the best of form for Tottenham, but with that hat trick that he had, he's coming firing hot this coming weekend. And then we got Mane hurt again. I mean, I know he wants his country to make the World Cup. I know that he has tons of pride for his country, but it's tough. It's a tough situation for Klopp because I know that he can't tell him not to play, because then you're gonna ruffle some feathers and he won't want to stay. But you don't want him. You kind of want him to say, play 20 minutes. But they did send the trainer with them, but that obviously didn't help.
Yeah, look, having read reports, updates since that story broke, he might be fit enough for this weekend. So by the sounds of it, it's not as serious as initially thought. I think there was an aggravation there, but I don't think it was enough to, set him back another 3 months. I remember when the story broke, there were some outlets basically guessing that he might be out another 3 months again. And since then, that's been sort of quelched by the Liverpool medical staff. So he might be fit enough to play Southampton this weekend. I would probably stay away, but we'll get into, all the advice in a bit. But it's not as bad as initially thought.
He better not play this weekend because they have Southampton at home. Then they have Chelsea after that. So he better not play against Southampton. They better rest him, make sure that he's 100%, at least 90% going against Chelsea.
Love it. Love it.
Okay.
All right. Let's get into back to fantasy real quick. Top scorer for match day 11. No Fuchs given FC. TJ Crane with 74 points. Absolutely smashing it out of the park this week. Well done, TJ Crane.
I kind of feel like the U.S. right now. I feel kind of like a sourpuss. I don't want to say excuses, but it was just one of those weekends where I had a couple drinks on that Friday night, got home at like 2:30, and totally woke up at 10 o'clock or something saying, oh, crap, because I got the 71 points, so I was close to him. But I missed out on the Salah captaincy.
That's such a humble brag, dude. It's like, oh, man, I was out partying, came home late, didn't fix my fantasy, and I still got 71 points, 3 less than the top scorer. Come on, dude. I'm over here studying 24 hours a day. I got a fat 35 this week. And I think I got under 40 last week, too. So I am dragging right now. I'm back in the second half, the bottom half of the table, headed towards relegation. But I think it's wild card for me, man. I think I've held on to it long enough. I need to flush the squad down the toilet.
But be careful with the wild card, because this actually kind of helps out the comment I'm about to make. I've had some discussions with Al about this, where he was making all these changes and they weren't scoring when he had them. Then they were scoring when he just sold them. And one thing that I found out is that many times that I forget to do that random weekend, they score well, because you almost overthink it. And if you're always adjusting the team and you're always tinkering with it, then sometimes you can just overplay your hand. So sometimes it's good to just leave your team alone, take the 2 transfers to the following week.
Yep. And unfortunately, I've tried that twice and still struggling. No, but you get 2 wild cards. So I never hold the wild cards too close. I try to do it after match day 10 and after match day 25 if I'm going to use them. So I try to sort of spread them out to like hit the third, the 1/3 mark and the 2/3 mark of the league. So I'm a bit overdue, dude. It's almost panic stations, man. We were climbing up. I was talking a lot of smack, trying to chase you, and now we're trending down, dude. We gotta fix it. We gotta pull out of this dive. And we're gonna do that with a wild card. Pray for me, Huss.
That was so intense with the.
Dude, I'm trying to win this, man. I'm trying to win this. All right, let's get into the top 5 for the week.
All right. So starting off with a whopping 38 points for the game week, you got Wayne's Winners by Wayne Powell. He's up by 5 points with 624 points total. Then we have second place, Marty McFly. Still have not told us how you get those icons in your name. I'm going to bring it up every single week until you tell us how to do it.
Dude.
I mean, realistically, I could just Google it, but it's more about the principle of it now. Yeah.
But let's give a little shout out to FC Wombolo. Didun, remember Didun?
Yeah.
I think that's how you pronounce your name, bro. He sent us a DM giving us instructions on how to do it. So we know how to do it, Marty McFly. But like Huss said, it's the principle, man. We asked you how to do it, and we want you to tell us. All right. So we're waiting. We got Twitter, we got Instagram, we got Facebook, we got emails. Hit us up, bro. We're trying to hear from you, Marty.
And you know what? That D-Dune, he's in 19th, isn't he? He's climbing fast, isn't he?
Yeah, man. D-Dune's doing work, dude. He's doing work. Got himself 51 this week. He broke into the top 20. He's still in 19th place, which is relegation. So don't get too happy, D-Dune, bro. You still got work to do.
All right. Second place, we had Marty McFly, Kevlar Ravens. 51 points on the game week, 619 overall. So he's 5 points behind the top spot. Then third place, we got Ali FC, Mohammed Helmi, 47 points in the game week, 618. So he's only 1 point behind Marty McFly.
Damn.
Then team 4, well, ranked 4, fourth place, whatever you want to call them. Your favorite team name, ABCD EFC, Sean Maroney, 43 points overall. Sorry, on the game week, 612 points overall. So he's only 6 points away from third place. And then fifth place, we have Alta Reality. Shoot. Crap.
Go.
Is that like a silent T back there? What are we working with here?
No, you tell me.
Satchit Tuladara. Tulada.
I'm not even gonna try it. I'll spell it as a hard one.
All right, so it's Tuladhar. Hit us up, give us a video, let us know how you say your name because I will fix that if you let us know. You got 57 points on the game week, and then you get 611 points overall. So you are 1 point away, fourth place, and 13 away from the top spot. So Wayne, you got some company.
Love it. All right, let's get into the host rankings. We got Huss in 11th place, got himself 71 points for the week, as he said earlier, and 592 overall. Then we got Al, who's in 27th place with 58 points and 557 overall. Man, we got myself, bottom half of the table, 52nd place, 35 points on the week, 517 overall. And then we got Tom in 57th, Fareed in 57th place with 57 points on the week, 506 overall. And rounding up the bottom of the group, the PFC group, we got Tom in 66th place, 44 points on the week, and 493 overall. All right, let's get into the last week's buy, keep, sell, and risk. What were the results, Bus?
We did pretty well this week. I think I made a comment that that Sunday I was like, "Ooh, I'm liking it. I'm liking it." Last week we got for the buyers, we got 34 points. Keeps, we got 18 points. The sells got 10 points, so that's still a little bit more than I want because I want 8 points or less. And then for the risk players, we got 8 points. So, I mean, not only that, but if we go back in time a little bit, for the keeps for midfielders, I said Rickarlison, and he gets 7 points. But not only did I say Rickarlison, I said Shaqiri, 13 points. Not only did we say Shaqiri, Moting, 5 points. So we hit all three on the keeps for midfielders. Just spitballing with you guys. So we had a pretty good week.
Love it. Absolutely love it, dude. All right, let's get into favorable matchups for Premier League Matchday 12 coming up this weekend.
First favorable matchup. Everyone's going to be watching this game. The London boys, Arsenal versus Spurs.
Whoa, you're giving this a favorable.
Yeah, yep. Look,
okay.
I was thinking about that because I usually go unfavorable for big teams facing off against each other. Yep. But the way Arsenal's defense is looking and the way Spurs are clicking and the way, Harry Kane had a little bit of break, so hopefully he comes back a little bit more fresh. And then also Christian Eriksen, he's the money man right now with those goals. If he can carry those over, Arsenal is in absolute trouble.
Cool. Dig it.
Then we got Leicester versus City. I mean, I feel like I say this every week. It's City. Anyone that goes against City, for the most part, except for maybe like Chelsea, United, and Liverpool. Maybe, no, not even Liverpool, because I think I had that a favorable matchup too, because I thought it was just too offensive going at it. But probably, except for Chelsea and United, City will be a favorable matchup every single week. United versus Newcastle. Again, it's United versus a mid-table team. United should be doing work, but you don't know because Pogba's still out, and they're missing him. Huge.
Yeah, man. Starting to feel the pains.
And then we got Watford versus West Ham. West Ham, injuries galore. We got Jose Font, Antonio, Chicha. He's even a little sore right now, so you don't actually know. Originally, I was going to say that was going to be unfavorable because, look, they lost 4-1 to Liverpool. They got the new manager. Lanzini got a goal, so I thought that was going to spark something. But with the injuries, I don't know. And honestly, I don't know with the leadership and the chemistry of this team. I don't know if this team's going to sink or float.
Cool.
And the last favorable, we got Brighton versus Stoke. I only said that because I learned my lesson last time when I went against Pascal Gross, and he made me eat my words. So I had him at the beginning of the season. I've never sold him, and you know what? I'm on that bandwagon. I think the whole season I can't go against him. So
Keep
Stoke,
riding. Love it.
Stoke, watch out. Unfavorable matchups. We got Bournemouth versus Huddersfield. Really, that one's tough because Bournemouth, they played well last week, and Huddersfield, they have maybe been. It's tough because Newcastle, you expected them to be a little bit better of the promotional teams because the Newcastle, but Huddersfield, they're probably the most surprising promoted team this year. Who's the manager? Wagner.
Yep.
Wagner being
David
best
Wagner.
buddies with Klopp. I mean, they've been outstanding. The other unfavorable matchup, we got Burnley versus Swansea. Burnley. Look, last week we went in for Pope. Everyone's talking about Pope. Everyone's picking Pope for Burnley. No. Not this week. I'm going. I don't know if Swansea's going to win, but I think Swansea's going to score, meaning that you're not going to get the clean sheet for Pope. That's not going to be a waste of money. It's going to be a good risk, but I don't see everyone picking up Pope the way they did last week and the week before.
Cool.
Unfavorable for Palace versus Everton. This is the most outrageous game this year, in my mind. It's two teams that have just been absolutely horrendous. They've been.
This is the impotency bowl. That's what I'm going to call it. These teams can't get it up right now. They're much better on paper than they're showing on the field right now.
Yeah, not only that, but they switched managers. They're finding excuses. They're saying that players are coming back. It's going to change. I feel like both teams are just like boyfriends apologizing to the girlfriend. I swear I'm going to change. Just stick with us for one more week. I've said that way too many times. I swear. Yeah, I swear, fantasy is almost over. I swear. I'm only going to read one more article. So the fourth unfavorable, we got Liverpool versus Southampton. I said that mostly because I don't know if Klopp's going to be on the sideline. Mane's, I don't know if he's going to play. Coutinho, he wasn't fit for Liverpool. Now he's fit for Brazil. This is the second time it's happened. We don't know if he's going to play. Lallana might be coming back. You don't know if he's going to be fully fit or rusty. We don't know. And Southampton, I mean, that's also Virgil van Dijk.
Yep.
Is he going to show up 100%? Is he going to help out this team, or is he going to try to impress? For me, Liverpool has to win this game by a lot to show Virgil, you need to be here. Not you want to be here. You need to be here. There's a difference between being on Southampton and Liverpool. They need to win this game by 4-0, at least 4-1. But there's no guarantees on that. And the last unfavorable, we got West Brom versus Chelsea. This one,
interesting.
Yeah, as I wrote it, I knew that I was going to get a little shtick for Arsenal and Spurs being favorable and West Brom, Chelsea being unfavorable. Look, West Brom is not the West Brom that we know from the past few years. I think this is definitely a moment where they can change their season, get a draw versus Chelsea, get some momentum right before the winter season starts to come along. I'm thinking 1-1 for a draw with these teams. I'm thinking Chelsea's going to win. I'm hoping for a 1-1 draw. Totally different, I know.
I'm glad you changed that because I was thinking that in my head. I was like, cool. Not going to debate this one because the soccer gods are going to spit in my face again. But it sounds more like a hope. But look, West Brom, a team always tough to break down, man. They can be a giant killer any given week. Chelsea, a team in flux right now. They're talking about bringing back Gianfranco Zola, the Chelsea legend, to be the go-between Abramovich and his staff and Conte and his staff. So there's muddy waters at Chelsea right now. So to think West Brom could maybe steal a result it's not crazy, Huss. I disagree, but it's not crazy at all based on what's going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, when I said that, I was actually thinking about our predictions. I was like, oh crap, now I'm going to have to be held to put in West Brom
Nah,
and
man.
Chelsea as a draw.
Look, I always tell people, predictions change minute to minute, dude. As news comes out, as feelings change, as research comes up, as things make themselves known, statistics, all that good stuff. Predictions change, man. So that's why, like, if you ask me on Monday who's gonna win Arsenal Tottenham, and you ask me on Friday, odds are there might be a different answer, depending which day you ask me and what happened between the first time and the second time you've asked me. So yeah, I never feel bad about changing predictions, dude. It happens all the time.
Yeah, I just don't want to be too much of a flip flopper because I know I'm all over the place.
I love it, Huss. I think it's the
uh,
best quality, dude.
Goalkeepers. All
Great.
right.
Yeah, we're
Let's.
going to get into the buy, keep, sell risk for this week, starting off with goalkeepers. Then we're going to move on to defenders, midfielders, forwards, and then we're going to round up telling you who to captain for Premier League Match Day 12. Huss, kick it off with the goalies. Who are we going to keep?
So, with the keepers, I already brought up the fact that everyone's going to go for Pope. Pope for Burnley. Heaton's out. Great buy. But I'm going a little different. I'm going with Begovic of Bournemouth. And the reason why I'm going with him is that they showed a nice win, 1-0 versus Newcastle, which was away last week. And now when it comes down to it, they got Newcastle, they have Huddersfield coming up, and then they have Swansea, Burnley, Southampton, Palace. You're looking at these 5 games. Bournemouth, out of 15 points coming up, I think they need to win probably 9 of those 15 points. Maybe even 10 of the 15 points if they want to keep playing in the Premier League next year. Because if they lose to like a Palace and a Swansea, or maybe even just a Burnley or something, they need to get these points. For Huddersfield and Newcastle, I find the situation to be similar. 2 promoted teams. You have to show them that, look, you were in Championship last year. We're the Premier League team. You're going to lose to us.
I like
So
that.
40 Begovic is 4.5 priced. He's only 3.9% owned. All right, keeping David De Gea. Look, this is just easy peasy. United are playing Newcastle, Brighton at home. Both are at home, and then you got Watford away. If United don't take 9 points out of these games, they're going to lose even more ground on City. And if they do not win those, they're not handing the league over to City, but it gets back to what I said on the show 3 weeks ago. It's that if no one gets injured, has City already won the league?
Yeah, look, City won 10 games in a row last season and then finished off rough. Obviously, this season, it doesn't look like they're going to choke like last. But yeah, man, if they're like 12 points ahead by mid-December, it's safe to say it's a wrap, barring any catastrophic injury crisis or anything like that. They have a squad that's deep enough. They lost Mendy, who was looking like he was going to be an incredible player for them at left back. And what do? They plug in a defensive midfielder who used to play for Aston Villa. And he goes on and he scores a Schürrle for them. So it's looking like City's firing on all cylinders. But to your point, man, if any of the chasing clubs continue to lose ground by mid-December, late December, this league could be wrapped up.
And not only that, I mean, I know that Tom and I will always banter about Liverpool and Arsenal, this and that, but you got Burnley, who's in 7th with 19 points, Arsenal in 6th with 19 points, Liverpool with 19 points, and then you got Chelsea at 22, Tottenham with 23, and United is tied with Tottenham at 23 as well. So if they lose any of those games and every other team wins, United very well could be sitting outside the top 4.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
David De Gea, priced at 5.7. He's owned by 40.9%. It just seems too natural to pick him or to keep him. It seems like clean sheets are going to happen.
Cool.
Selling. I'm going with selling with Butland. He hurt his arm, hurt his hand during international duty. He's priced at 5, 3.1% owned. Not much to say here. We don't know exactly how long he's going to be out for. So, toodaloo. We'll pick you up when you get back. But for now, have a nice holiday.
Love the cold blood, dude. What are you, a Wall Street fucking CEO, dude? That's so funny. Toodaloo. Cheers, mate.
We'll send you a basket.
Right. Send you a copper tea.
I mean, if a field player at least gets hurt, they hurt their leg so they can play some FIFA. I don't know. He hurt his hand, so now he's gonna like play with one hand, the joystick.
Gonna go monkey style and use his feet.
Then risk pick for the second week in a row, I believe. Yes, for the second week in a row, I am going with Pickford. He's priced at 4.9. He's owned by 6.4% of the teams. Look, when it comes down to it, Everton has Palace away, Southampton away, West Ham home, Huddersfield home. I mean, we got 3 teams that are struggling, and then you got a Huddersfield that could be playing above their weight right now. So Palace away, we don't know. This is an absolute risk. We don't know who's going to show up. Is Ashley Williams going to even decide to start playing this year? We don't know. So
yeah,
and
then
we
don't know about either one of these teams.
Yeah, so that's why I figured that Pickford. I think there's a better chance Everton will win. That's why I'm going with Pickford. But this year we don't know with Everton, so
cool.
I don't mind it. I wouldn't pick him up, but that's my risk pick. Defenders. We got. Shoot, I should have picked someone else. Francisco Femenia Farr from Watford. He's priced at 4.5, owned by 4.7%. Look, his points look pretty good at the moment. That's because he had a pretty good week 2, week 3, week 4 because they had some clean sheets. Watford, they're playing West Ham, and again, West Ham have so many injuries right now and the way that Watford are playing. Look, the last couple weeks, but at the same time, the Watford of the overall year, they've been looking really good. As Fareed would tell you, it's the team to watch. So when it comes down to it, I do have faith in Watford over West Ham because West Ham has been absolutely shit. I don't give a shit if they have a new manager or not.
Yeah,
yeah, I just laid down 2 like shit bombs real quick. I don't know why, but
you got a little frustrated. So
I almost said S bombs, but I was like, I sound like a pansy if I say that.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping Matip. Look, this is one of those things where, he's priced at 5.5, owned by 3%. I keep forgetting to do that. Southampton, they suck at offense. That's what it is. They suck at offense. Defensively, they're not too bad. Look, they've had some games where they have scored multiple goals during the games, but look, it's Liverpool. Again, same thing with United. Liverpool need these wins. It's no ands, ifs, or buts. They have to win this because they got Chelsea next week. And then they go on a good 5-match run with somewhat easy, not easy, but they're not playing Chelsea, basically. Let's put it that way. And then you got Arsenal in game week 19. So this is a must-win game to stay in contention for top 4.
Agreed.
And like I said before, this is a must-win to show Virgil, come to Liverpool. You have to win I think you have to win by at least 2 goals with a comfortable win where you're passing the ball around, or win with 3 or 4 goals.
Now, if you beat Southampton like 4-5-0, what does that say about Virgil's abilities?
I wouldn't read too much into it. So, look, we've seen it many times before where if a good player is on a subpar or an average team, and then you throw him on a good team, things change. I think that if Mata plays the way that he does, and if Virgil really does come over to Liverpool, that could be a good matchup. I would not lose any faith in Virgil at all if Liverpool win by 4. Because look, I mean they will rock any team on any given day for 4 or 5. I mean, that's how Liverpool is matched up. The only thing is that they might give up 5 goals or 6. So
Yeah.
that's the one thing about Liverpool. It's the same old story. So I would
Just
still
be
prefer to have Virgil on Liverpool, even if they win by 10.
cool. Just to be clear, Liverpool would never put 4 or 5 past United. All right.
Never.
If they put more.
I'll have to look in the history books.
No, look, historically it's happened, but we live in the
Yeah,
present. All right, we got eyes forward. We're moving towards the future of United.
yeah. I think the most that Liverpool would ever put past United right now, it would have to be
One.
at most, I would say 3 if the game really
Yeah.
opened up. I would say 2
1.
is more realistic.
I'd say 1 on a lucky day. But I'm biased. You know what? I'm biased. I don't know if I take my word for it. What we got next?
We're actually gonna flip it. Same game, different player. We got Yoshida.
Ooh, I like Yoshida.
So I think Yoshida. They just played Brazil, I believe. I'm just spitballing right now. I don't know why I didn't look this up because
By they, you mean Japan?
Yeah, Japan. Why? What? Oh no, Japan. They played Brazil. Sorry. Yeah, Yoshida played Brazil, and I'm pretty sure that Yoshida was the one that threw Fernandinho on the ground. Like he grappled him and threw him, I believe, for the penalty. But
I didn't see that.
yeah, don't hold me to that because I forget. But Yoshida, again, they're playing one of the best offenses in England. I know there's no Mane, but Salah, country and club, the guy is just he's sizzling hot right now. He's the sun at the moment. Yoshida, he's priced at 5.1 overall. He's owned by 5% of the teams. He actually is 14th best points per match. So that's not horrible because Southampton have Liverpool away, Everton home, City away, Bournemouth away, Arsenal home, Leicester home, Chelsea away. So the next 4 probably 4 out of the next 8 with Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Chelsea. And then you have Leicester of the next 3 that are probably the hardest because of Vardy and Mahrez. It's been absolutely on fire. I don't see Southampton getting away with many points here. Out of the next 8 games, I see 4 points. Wait, sorry, 7 matchups. Out of the next 7 matchups, I see 4 points.
Yeah. There's not much going on there. I mean, I can't even fight that.
You just said yeah like 12 times.
Because I was trying to wrestle with it in my head a little bit, play with it, and I think that's a safe statement.
And that's me saying that Liverpool and Arsenal are going to definitely win. I think City and Chelsea, the thing that City and Chelsea do differently from Liverpool and Arsenal, even though Chelsea have a hard time with Palace, I think they close out average and lower tier teams better than Liverpool and Arsenal.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, moving on for the risk. This might be the risk of the week. This goes back to one of the questionable, unfavorable matchups. He's a West Brom player. Higazi.
West Bum?
Yeah, West Brom. West Brom. Well, it could be West Bums this year. I'm going with Higazi.
You got him back?
This last game week, I sold him. This week, I'm putting him as a risk. I don't know if I'm just tired, so I'm just picking crazy people. But Higazi is just a gut feeling right now. 4.6 overall, 20.6 still owned by the game. So I'm not alone. I still have him. I think. Yeah, I'm almost positive I still have him. There's something about West Brom. It's just I could just be getting caught up in the fact that the last 3 or so years, West Brom has just been so solid in the back. And this year they're not. Like maybe Fletcher was that good last year, and with Barry in there in the middle, he's just not as good. But there's something about West Brom, the nostalgia for me in the last few years, that I'm gonna go Higazi.
Cool. I dig it. Dipping back into the Higazi bucket.
Yeah, I could be totally wrong about that one. I'm still questioning as we talk right now. That's how much of a risk it is. All right.
All right,
Forget about the defenders.
midfielders.
Going to midfielders.
Who are we buying?
I think everyone who's listened to the whole episode so far should know who I'm talking about. The man, the myth, the man who scores 3 goals against Ireland to put his team in the World Cup. We're going Christian Eriksen. I mean, 9.7 priced. He's owned by 24.3%. I expect that to be past 26% by Friday. I mean, this guy, he's magic, dude. This, honestly, I think we brought it up a couple of times before in other episodes. I truly believe, I'm not being biased right now. I'm not trying to say that I want Coutinho to stay at Liverpool. I'm not saying that he has to stay or anything like that. I'm not saying anything like that. Christian Eriksen, in my mind, would be a better upgrade right now, which would be tomorrow, actually, for Barcelona than Coutinho.
Wow, bold statement, and I agree. Potential. I don't know. Once Coutinho really starts finding his form again, and I don't know if he'll ever find it at Liverpool, unfortunately. But man, when he was climbing, dude, I think that would have been a good debate at the end of last season. But yeah, so far this season, Eriksen's running away with it. And the funny thing is, he doesn't quite have the fantasy stats to show yet so far, which is another reason why you should be considering buying this guy as soon as possible. His value's already gone up. I think he started at 9.5. He's at 9.7. I don't see it coming down, man. Tottenham's firing on all cylinders, basically. Harry Kane just had, 2 weeks to rest his body. So it's gonna be a Tottenham that hits the ground firing. Now, obviously, they're playing Arsenal, so they might lose this weekend, and maybe Eriksen won't do well, yada yada. But over the next couple of weeks, I think we're gonna see Eriksen flourish and start to help Harry Kane and sort of holding up Tottenham's bid for the Premier League.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that I saw, it actually goes back to the quote that I was saying earlier, where people inform, the players that are informed go to get hurt for international duty, and players that aren't informed go to get informed. Eriksen has not had a goal or assist in the last 3 matchups going against Liverpool, Manchester United, and Crystal Palace. So when it comes down to it, from his past form, it's almost 100% saying that he is completely due for a goal and an assist.
Cool. Who are we keeping?
Keeping Sané from Man City. He's priced at 8.9. He's owned by 25.7% of the game. The reason why I say keep him is the fact of the Guerrero situation. I'll get more into it when we get into strikers, but with him probably out this weekend, I'm thinking Sané. It could be Sterling. It very well could be. But I'm thinking Sané will get the bid because he's just been so absolutely good. You know what? I'm going to bring him up right now to show his stats. Excuse me. I don't know why I just burped.
Human body.
But look, I mean, since week 4, he went for 13 points, then 1, 16, then 3, then 10, 12, 12, then 2.
Wow.
I mean, it just seems as if, and every one of those matchups from week 6 on, he has played at least 83 minutes. So he's almost he's pretty much a regular starter from now on, as it looks. And he seems due to get at least an assist. And multiple times you can say with, let's look at this real quick. With Leicester coming to town, you can say that City are probably going to get the clean sheet as well. So he'll probably get at least an extra point for that. So we're looking at least 3. If he gets the assist, we're looking almost 10. Maybe could get 2 assists with how they score 6 goals a game. It's City. They're absolutely mad this year. Makes my mind melt. Yeah, see, I can't talk. It melts. God.
Yeah, you got to have at least 3. Well, not at least. Yeah, at least 3 City players. I'm going to say it. You have to, dude. Whether you choose 2 midfielders and a forward, 3 midfielders, 2 midfielders and a defender, two defenders. Like obviously, the clean sheets aren't as good as say Tottenham or Man United, but they're not far behind at all, man. They're not far behind.
Yeah, but I still think that this team, they're so offensively superior to any other team in England and probably the best offensive team in Europe right now by stats. I would not waste any Man City picks on a defender. It has to be midfielders and strikers.
Good job.
Selling this guy. We just brought him up randomly. It was very quick, but this guy, not gonna tell you his name yet, but he has 2 goals and 3 assists in the last 4 matches. His name is Mahrez, plays for Leicester. My God, this guy, as much as I want to say risk on this guy just because they're playing Man City, he's priced at 8.4, owned by 5.1%. It's City. I can't. After that, you got West Ham, Spurs, Burnley, Newcastle, Southampton, Crystal Palace. Look, if you want to keep him and put on the bench, that's cool, but 8.4 seems a bit much to have on your bench. So I would say sell him and ride it out till they start playing Burnley, Newcastle, Southampton, Crystal Palace, because this guy seems to be turning his form completely around. Once he shook off the whole I want to leave type of situation, now that a couple months have really went by, he seems to be like the old Mahrez that we saw 2 years ago.
Dude, look at it. I mean, I've said it before multiple times on the podcast, and if you're tired of hearing it, sorry guys. But Mahrez is the exact example of how you should handle a transfer situation. He obviously wants out. He should have left 2 years ago, in my opinion. But he's been an absolute professional. There's nothing weird in the media coming out. He's not taking shots. He's had every opportunity to take shots at Leicester with their manager crisis over the last season or so. And he's been a penultimate professional. Coutinho, look at a guy like Coutinho. Yes, there's injuries and stuff, but you can almost see it on his face a little bit that he's not in form. He's unhappy and it's affecting his form. Some guys can be unhappy, but as soon as they step onto that pitch, they turn into robots. And some guys need to feel loved, to get the best out of them. So I'm really proud of Mahrez, man. And he's playing at Leicester too. It's not like he's unhappy playing at Arsenal or Liverpool or United. He's playing at a team that is usually mid-table, but this season is really, really struggling. And he's such a professional, man.
Yeah, you know what? The situation might be helping his situation. If it's weird to say it that way, but when you said Coutinho is a bit of a sourpuss, I think it might be for the fact that he knows that Barcelona want him, and no matter what he does, he can go to Barcelona, PSG, wherever he wants. Where Mahrez, because of last year and because of the struggles a little bit, he's like, I need to play well to stay with a top 5 team. So it could be for that fact.
That's very well said, Huss. Very well said. That definitely could be it too. Absolutely. He's playing for a contract.
Exactly. And you know what? He's playing at the moment like Arsenal should take a look. Maybe Liverpool take a look. I mean, even United, United should take a look.
Even I'm taking a look. I got him on my fantasy watch list. I'm waiting for that Tottenham game, and then I'm jumping on Mahrez.
Oh, I have him in the draft though. He was like one of my last picks.
Damn it! I thought he was going to be sold, so I didn't touch him.
Yeah. Well, that's why you have Coutinho and I don't.
Right. All right. Next position.
No, we're going with risk for midfielders right now. So this risk player, look, when we talk about this player all the time about having so much potential. We talked about him last year because he really just he really came out of his cocoon. He really became like this. Crap, that's a bad analogy. Now I'm going to have to call him a butterfly.
This guy's so tough. He's so good. Take a big risk. Get him on your fantasy team. Get him on your fantasy team. What's his name? The butterfly.
We're talking about Zaha, Wilfred Zaha. man, we talked about this guy coming back. And look, he hasn't done horrible. He has 2 goals in 4 games. Look, he should have 1 goal in 4 games because Antonio from West Ham did crap with that ball at the very end. But you can't take that away from Zaha because, players like that, things just click at the end of the match and things just come together, and it does for him. So I'm not saying that he's going to be a crap player, but at the moment, I don't see him really erupting for too many points in the – well, I don't know. See, this is why it's a risk because I want to say that he's not going to do anything because I see a Stoke and an Everton and West Brom. But this year, we don't know because you got Everton at home, Stoke at home, Brighton away, West Brom away, Bournemouth home, Watford home, Leicester away, Swansea away. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 good matchups. So I keep him as a risk because I don't know if he's going to score against Everton. But between in these 8 games, he is now playing for a contract next year. Not with Palace, but he's in the same situation as Mahrez on are you going to be with Palace or are you going to be with a top 6 team?
Yeah, I agree, man. And I love Willie Zaha. Tom loves him way more than I do. I think he's gonna. I think if Crystal Palace has a shot, it's gonna be on his shoulders. So it is a risk, but for the price, I think it's a worthy risk.
Oh yes, the price 6.8, and then he's owned by 4.5%. But you know what? It's looking like Crystal Palace. If they don't get their crap together, they're gonna be relegated, and it won't matter anyways. And I could see him being bought by maybe a Newcastle if Newcastle finishes in 8th or 7th.
Yeah, I mean, I hope not. I wish him, a higher team. But yeah, I mean, if Newcastle finishes top 8, then it's not that bad of a shout.
What if we saw Leicester because Mahrez leaves and you bring in Zaha? So it's actually
that's a downgrade for Zaha. It's an upgrade for Leicester. Not even an upgrade, but it might be an upgrade. But it's a good move for Leicester. Terrible move for Zaha, dude. He's got to get out of this basement team level. He's got to go. I think his next move is either Everton, maybe Arsenal, maybe Liverpool. But you have too many wingers. But that level of club, where they're fighting for top 6 or maybe just outside top 6. You go to Leicester, it's so in flux over there. You go to Newcastle, who the hell knows where you're going to be in 2 years? I think he deserves a little bit more stability than Crystal Palace or some of these clubs are willing to offer him.
Yeah, I don't see Zaha going to Liverpool with Mane, Salah. I guess Ox is going to play winger rather than midfielder, and then also Origi coming back from loan from Germany, who's actually doing very well at the moment.
Yeah, probably not to Liverpool, but we shall see.
Yes. So strikers, this guy, I picked him number 1 overall on our draft. I still have him in fantasy. The guy, I can't find myself selling him. I believe I'm going to check real quick to make sure that I'm not lying to you because that'd be kind of crap if I did. I have no idea what my team. I have not looked at it for a week. Oh no, I still have him. The man, the myth, Lukaku. Look, this guy, he's a beast. He'll probably win the Golden Boot if Harry Kane doesn't. But he's done pretty much nothing since Pogba has been out, I feel like. But again, am I being too harsh? He's got 2 assists in the last 4 games. But if people are going to keep bringing up Firmino and how bad he is, even though I see the whole picture and he's doing really well, if people are going to say how he's doing poor for Liverpool because he's not scoring goals, can we get on Lukaku's back for not scoring goals for the last 4 games when he started out with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 goals in 7 matches?
Look, I'm not going to get on his back about it because he is at the top, or at least near the top of goal scorers. All we can ask is for him at the end of the season to be in that running of top goal scorers. Obviously, based on United history, we've become accustomed to asking a lot more from our forwards. But based on recent history, man, I don't know if we're in the position to expect a 23-year-old to fill the boots of guys like Ruud van Nistelrooy, even Wayne Rooney in his prime. So I think it's his first year at United. It's gonna take a bit of time for him to get it together. He's at the top, if not tied at the top. He's got a similar amount of goals to Harry Kane. I mean, yes, he's gone through a drought, but we know forwards go through droughts. And I hate the criticism of he never scores in big games. I need to pull up that stat for you guys. I don't have it right now, but I'll pull it up for the next episode, comparing the top strikers in the Premier League and how much they've scored against top 3 or top 4 opposition historically. It's not that high. You don't buy these guys. Yes, you buy them for that, Champions League game winner or the game winner in the tough games. Of course you do. But most of the time that doesn't pan out that way. And unfortunately, because Lukaku has this massive price tag, he's young, he's a polarizing figure, he gets, in my opinion, unfairly criticized for his goal rate. He's near the top of the Premier League, first year at United, Old Trafford. You look at Mkhitaryan in his first year, dude almost crumbled. You look at Lindelof right now in his first year at Old Trafford, he's crumbling. It's a big stage to play at, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a United fan. It's the biggest club in the world, and for him to come in at 23 years old and be tied with Harry Kane on goals right now, he's fine, dude. He's doing fine.
That's true. The worst thing you can do as the media in Manchester is give him pressure, or the fans. Yeah. You don't want this. You don't want any pressure on this guy, because if he and Pogba stay together, glory will probably be coming back to United in the next 5-6 years.
Easily, maybe even 2 to 3, dude. Yeah. Because now you start building around. Okay, you got your top spine, right? You got your goalkeeper. We're still working on that center back, hoping it's Bailly, but still working on it. Center mid, Pogba, and then a number 10 kind of working on it. Maybe Mkhitaryan when he feels good, and then you got Lukaku. So we have 3 of the 5 spine positions, 3 of the 4 spine positions locked up. So they're not that far from being a powerhouse team, but still ways to go.
All right, so let's move on from that. Lukaku keeping. I know this is kind of a weird one, but we did bring him up last week. Callum Wilson. I know that this is just like a soft spot for me.
Yeah, a little bit, but to your defense, I'm sure you're going to go into why. Talk about the last game he played in.
Yeah, last game he didn't get a goal, but he looked very close. I mean, he had multiple chances to get a goal, and he's going against Huddersfield at home, Swansea away, Burnley at home, Southampton home, then Crystal Palace away. So again, 5.9 price. He's only owned by 1% of the game. If he stays healthy, he's a player that will get some good stats. He could be, even though he's teammates with him, this is the type of player that could put up Defoe type of numbers on a lower team.
Cool.
All right. Selling. I already brought him up once or twice. Aguero. Look, when it comes down to his health, I don't know if you mess with that. He collapsed in the locker room, went to the hospital. They say that he's fine. People are saying they might be fit for the match this weekend. But why? Why risk it? Why have him play? There's no reason for Aguero to play in this game this week. Have him play a little bit, sit out, get some rest. I mean, it is what it is. They're playing, Leicester away? Come on.
And the thing is with City is that they have plenty of depth in the front 6 positions. So there's no need for them to risk Aguero. You can put Jesus at that 9 spot and then wing him with Sané and Sterling on the other side. And then De Bruyne and David Silva sitting behind. So there's no need to risk it. I would keep a close eye on the news, keep reading for updates, maybe set up a Google alert for Aguero. But I totally back Huss in this. When you hear stuff about people passing out, that's not like a knock in training. That that could be more serious. It could be he's dehydrated or he stood up too quickly, whatever. But these athletes are some of the most in shape human beings on this planet, and for him to just pass out, usually that's not a great sign. So for fantasy points, or for fantasy perspective, I would stay away from him. And stepping away from the fantasy perspective, I hope everything's okay with him. I want to say thoughts and prayers, but that's so cliched at this point. But for sure, it's we talk a lot of smack about these players. We talk a lot of smack about these teams, but we never really want to see, anything serious happen to these guys. At the end of the day, this is their livelihood. For us, it's a sport, it's a passion, it's something we love. But for them, they're trying to feed their families. They're trying to move out the hood. They're trying to move the hood out the hood. So you never want to see these kind of stories. So hopefully he's okay, man. Reports say he's okay. That's great news.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if I brought it up. I forget whether we talked about before the show or on the show, but same thing happened to Jurgen Klopp of Liverpool. Well, not same thing, sorry, but he saw the medical staff at Anfield, and he admitted himself to the hospital. Same thing. You may not be a Klopp guy, you may not be a Liverpool guy, but you do not want to see people going to the hospital for certain health reasons.
Yep, agreed, man.
All right,
on a less serious note, Chase.
So Risk. Oh, man. He's been okay this year. And look, Burnley. I brought up Burnley so much this week just for the fact everyone keeps saying Pope. I'm going with Tammy Abraham of Swansea, who's facing Burnley.
Wow, and Tammy Abraham has hit the Huss radar. I love it.
Yeah, I saw him at the beginning of the year, but I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, me and Fareed have been sort of quietly giving each other high fives about this guy, man. Fareed's obviously known him for a little bit longer than me, considering he's a Chelsea youth prospect. But yeah, he's looking good, man. He's looking really dangerous, really dynamic guy. He's long, he's powerful. Obviously, still has to get a bit more of muscle on his body, but man, he's looking good, dude. That's a nice shout for a Risk.
Thanks. I mean, the only reason why I've known him for probably a year and a half, 2 years, is because I remember there was a big argument about who had the better youth products, and someone was going after Fareed with the Chelsea. So I did some research on Chelsea youth because they kept on winning the FA Cup for the youth, and this guy came up. I started reading about this guy, and he just seemed outstanding. And now, he has a well-deserved loan to a team in the EPL, which is nice because he's going to get some physical play as well.
Absolutely.
He's priced at 5.9, 17.7% own him, and since week 6, so last 6 weeks, he's gone every other week to have an assist or a goal. So when that comes down to it, he didn't have a goal or assist against Brighton. So if the trend continues every other week, he's due for assist or a goal against Burnley. And then everyone that picks up Pope, blah. Sucks for you. Sucks for you. This sucks for you. You're 1 week too late.
You sounded like, what's his name? The guy the commentator you boys love. What was it, Ray Hudson? You sound like, ah. Oh, he was screaming.
Oh, I can't do his voice. I absolutely love it though.
All right, we'll save it for Sunday. All right, let's wrap it up. That gives you guys some advice on who's hot right now, who's not hot right now for each position. We're gonna wrap it up with captains. Huss, who's your captain pick this week?
I think I brought this guy up probably 15 times tonight. Have to go with Christian Eriksen.
I love it. I love the Christian Eriksen pick. I'm gonna go. Dude, I'm torn. I'm torn between either Lukaku or Sane. But I think I'm going to go Lukaku, who's well overdue. Some desperate goals. Like you said, he's in a bit of a drought. I'm not panicking. He's not panicking. United fans, some of them are panicking, but it's going to be okay. Going against Newcastle, a shady defense, I think we'll be okay to take Lukaku.
And Lukaku's an automatic starter, too. As much as Sane has played the last 6 matches, or 7, I forget what it was, there's always that chance that he won't play.
I agree. Cool, man. All right, so that wraps it up, guys, for fantasy soccer talk for Matchday 11. Thank you for joining us. Matchday 12. I'm sorry, guys. I'm losing my weeks here. We appreciate you guys supporting, downloading the show. Received a couple of questions over the last couple of weeks, so we hope we've been giving you guys good advice on that. Keep them coming if you have questions. Huss, anything else before we check out?
Yeah, bring questions, like you say. And if you have any feedback, good or bad, if you want to come at us, come at us. I mean, when it comes down to it. We don't want to leave anything on the table. If you have a dispute with one of our picks, let us know. We'll work through it. We'll hear. We obviously, it's not like one of those things we're going to shut you out. We want to hear what you say. If you see another fact or another stat that you think is that would correct a pick that we've made, cool, bring it at us.
Yeah, absolutely, man. This is we banter, basically. You know, the whole spirit of the show is just talking with your buddies, debating football/soccer. So feel free, man. We don't bite. We ain't scared.
And
thanks for the support, guys.
And when it comes down to it, guys, seriously, like Tiki said, thank you for the likes. Thanks you for the shares on Facebook. Thanks for the downloads. We're hitting record numbers for us. Keep it going. We have some really good momentum. And when it comes down to it, we love doing this. So thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Peace.